Hi, I'm Sabrina from England. Some people dream of living in luxury, but I've always felt alone when I was surrounded by expensive things. My parents owned a business that made them filthy rich. For as long as I could remember, birds had been my best friend. I loved watching them and even kept a birding journal. Mom! Dad! Look at this pigeon! We don't have time for this. My parents never had time for me, but one day they gave me an amazing gift. Wow, a real parrot! I hope you'll stop bothering us now. Mom and Dad often went on business trips, so they hired a babysitter for me. Her name was Anna. Will you introduce me to your pet? He's not a pet, he's my friend. One day, Mom opened the window right as I was letting him out of the cage. Don't go! He's gone! Now's not a good time. Where is Anna? Don't cry. Let me tell you a story. Some birds fly far, far away to build their nests. They take in abandoned chicks and care for them like they are their own children. Although her story sounded like a fairy tale, it was a welcome distraction. After that day, Anna and I grew closer. I liked spending time with her. Even though she was older than me, she was my friend. By the time I turned 16, I had become a walking bird Wikipedia. She talks to birds more than to people. Of course she does. No one in their right mind would want to be friends with this weirdo. No, it's just that birds are much smarter than you. We are having dinner at a restaurant with our new business partners tomorrow. Family values are important to them, so you're coming with us. But it's the summer holidays. I was going to go to a bird show and I don't care. My parents usually ignored me, but sometimes they remembered my existence at the worst possible moment. Anna didn't work for us anymore, but we kept in touch. She traveled a lot and was out of town that day too, so I had no one to complain to. The next morning, Mom took me shopping. You need to look perfect. What on earth are you wearing? She made me try on a ton of clothes and wouldn't stop criticizing me. You could feed a starving country with this much money. At some point, Mom got a call from work and finally left me alone. I decided to get some fresh air and walk home. On the way there, a master from a beauty salon suddenly approached me. We're looking for models to try our new hair dyes on. Would you consider it? It was free and I decided to give it a try. A couple of hours later, I walked out of the salon a completely different person. I think I could pass for a flamingo now. I knew my parents wouldn't be thrilled, but it still surprised me how furious they were. We're going to the most expensive restaurant in town! How could you do this to us? I don't need a daughter this useless. Their words stung, but at least they decided to go to the meeting without me. After my parents had left, I got a call from Anna. She had come back earlier than expected and asked if I wanted to hang out. Mom and Dad don't care about me. I don't want to be stuck here with them the whole summer. I've got an idea. I recently saw my friend from uni, Mrs. Langley. She runs a boarding school on an island. It's for girls only. They spend a lot of time outside doing their hobbies. Sounds awesome. I don't think my parents will let me go, though. Leave that to me. At first, Mom and Dad were skeptical, but Anna managed to convince them to let me go. It's a very prestigious boarding school. Mrs. Langley is a real lady. I hope she'll help our daughter acquire good taste. Soon, my parents transferred money to the boarding school and forgot about me again. Then, Anna drove me to a small seaside town. The students are forbidden from using their phones at the boarding school, so if anything happens, contact me through Mrs. Langley. When I boarded the ferry, I saw a scowling guy. Why was a boy coming to a girls' boarding school? Hi, I'm Sabrina. He was quite taciturn. The only thing I got out of him was his name, Eric. The principal was waiting for us on the island. Anna warned us you were coming. We've been expecting you. You must be the gardener's new assistant. A gardener's assistant, huh? He looks more like a broody vampire. As soon as I saw the boarding school, though, I forgot all about him. Wow! This mansion was built at the end of the 19th century. I thought there would be a lot of people living inside the boarding school, but I only saw a few girls. Are all the girls here blonde? As soon as I thought that, another girl walked into the living room. Is this everyone? The island is very small. There's no one here but us. Rita, show Sabrina to her room. It's like I'm in the wrong era. I get what you mean. I arrived a couple days before you. When I looked out the window, I saw Eric. He was staring right at me, and it made me uneasy. At dinner, Mrs. Langley asked each of us to talk about ourselves. I'm from the town of Stoneward. It's in the US. I only recently arrived in England. I'm sure you'll enjoy your time here. My boarding school opened last year. All the girls who stayed here left satisfied. After dinner, it was time for tea. It has such a pungent herbal taste. Before going to bed, I decided to go for a short walk. There was a small forest behind the boarding school. I walked through it down a narrow path and came across a church. It must be very old. Something about it seemed wrong to me, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. That night, I woke up feeling like someone was staring at me. When I opened my eyes, I saw a dark figure standing by my window. The next second, they jumped out the window. I think it was Eric. I tried to talk to him in the morning, but he refused to answer any of my questions. There was definitely something wrong with that guy. Later, Mrs. Langley invited us to the garden. We were allowed to do whatever we wanted there. The birds here are so pretty. Nature is the best source of inspiration. All of a sudden, the sky grew dark and a thunderstorm began. When I came back to my room, I noticed something strange. It says, "Run!" Is this some sort of joke? I would have probably forgotten about it, but that wasn't the end of it. One day, we went to the seaside. While everyone was listening to Mrs. Langley, I saw petrels nearby. So pretty. Before I knew it, I'd moved away from our group and ended up by the rocks. Then there was a commotion nearby. When I turned around, I saw a girl I didn't recognize. Are you with them? What? We need to run. I was about to keep talking to her, but then I smelled something bitter. The world blurred before my eyes, and I blacked out. When I came to, I was lying on the bed in my room. I saw a girl by the sea. She was scared, and then a girl. Honey, there's no one but us here. The ferry arrives once a week. You probably just got a heat stroke. I couldn't stop thinking about what had happened all evening. Was that girl really just a hallucination? I couldn't fall asleep for a long time, so I immediately heard it when someone knocked on my window. You again? I'll tell the principal about this. Shh, we need to talk. The next moment, he nimbly climbed inside. The nerve of him! I overheard your talk with Mrs. Langley. Can you describe that girl to me? What did she look like? She had blonde hair and a butterfly tattoo on her collarbone. Her clothes were all torn up, but the principal said I imagined her. No, you didn't! I'm not here for work. My sister went missing around here a month ago. Missing? Cheryl and I grew up in an orphanage. She recently found a part-time job at a cafe. Her boss paid for her stay at this boarding school as a reward for her good work, but Cheryl never came back. I tried to talk to her boss, but she had gone missing too, and the cafe had closed. No one in the police listened to me. So you came here to find her? I found out that they were looking for a gardener's assistant and knew that was my chance. I'm sorry I scared you last time. I was searching all the rooms. I saw something here. Run? That's Cheryl's handwriting. Why didn't I see it? We met early the next morning and came to the place where I had seen Eric's sister. There's no one here. At that moment, for some reason, I remembered the church and we headed there. Something's not right here. You're right. See the symbol above the entrance? Normal churches don't have that. Once we were inside, we saw that symbol on the floor, walls, and even the ceiling. Do you think it means something? Eric had a phone, but the signal was terrible. We decided to sneak into Mrs. Langley's office. She needs to stay in touch with the outside world somehow. I'm sure there's a computer with internet access in her office. We waited until the principal left. Luckily, she didn't lock the door. Eric was on the lookout, and I went inside. You're right! It's even connected to Wi-Fi. I didn't have much time, but I still managed to find something. The symbol above the entrance means unity. It seems to be the name of some old esoteric community. Did you say unity? God, please, not again. What do you mean? I thought it was over. A while ago, I found out that my parents and a bunch of other people I knew were cult members. Most of those fanatics hid in catacombs. By some miracle, I managed to escape and get in touch with my aunt. She promised to send me to a safe place. This boarding school? She must be in cahoots with your parents. Wait a sec, did you say catacombs? What if there are some on the island too? What if Cheryl has been underground this whole time? We decided to go to the rocks again, and this time our search was a success. There was a trapdoor hidden under the sand leading underground. I can't believe it! There really are catacombs here. We walked forward and came across a locked door. Cheryl! How did you find me? We need to leave. They're all psychos here. We'll get you out. We looked around but couldn't find anything to break the lock with. Let's go back first. When we returned to the beach, I couldn't believe my eyes. Anna, I'm so glad to see you. You're not gonna believe it. That's Cheryl's boss. She sent her to this freaking island. What? No, I've known her since I was a kid. A second later, a haze appeared in the air. I felt a familiar bitter smell, and the world went dark again. We finally woke up. What happened? These fanatics burn herbs to knock people out. They even added them to our tea to make us more suggestible. You're smart. Your aunt was right. But we're not fanatics. Our faith is ancient. Sabrina, remember when you were a kid, I used to tell you stories about birds? There are birds like that in our community too, and I'm one of them. Places like this are our nest. My mission is to look for young girls who will later become our priestesses. It's a shame you dyed your hair. Our goddess is kind to blondes. You choose kids who don't have parents or whose family doesn't care about them on purpose. Of course we do. It's easier that way. But most of those who stay with us soon get their loved ones to join. Unfortunately, there are exceptions. I'm not going to join your stupid cult. First you kept me in the boarding school, now you've trapped me in here, but I'm going to run away. Mark my words. I hope you'll change your mind, Eric. You can join our community too. If you make the right choice, we'll hold the rite of passage in our temple in a week. Go to hell! There's no need for such anger. The adjoining room has all the amenities you might need. The sleeping bags are in the closet. Soon they locked us in the room and left. We didn't know what to do, but eventually came up with a plan. We need to act like we gave up. Escaping during the ceremony will be easier. The ferry's coming back in a week, but I think the ferryman and the police are working with Mrs. Langley. One of us needs to sneak onto the ferry and contact someone trustworthy. Eric and I don't have anyone. Me either. That leaves Sabrina. My parents won't listen to me. But it was our only option. We had no better ideas. All week we pretended to drink the tea they brought us and acted like we were slowly giving in. Finally, one evening we were led to the church through an underground passage. Rita put on a small show. I'm dizzy. Help her! I took advantage of the commotion to slip away and ran to the beach as fast as I could. Luckily, the ferry hadn't left yet, and I managed to sneak onto it. Once I was back in town, I asked a passerby for their phone and called my mom. Please answer. It seemed luck was on my side, because after a couple of seconds, I heard her voice. I was sure my parents wouldn't even listen to me, but to my surprise, they believed me. Stay where you are, and we'll come pick you up. It's strange that they agreed to leave work and come so easily. Rita said her family members turned out to be cultists. What if my parents are the same? If everything you told us is true, I'll personally put them behind bars. I can't believe such a thing happened in the 21st century. Why did you come to pick me up? You never cared about me. It's true we didn't spend much time with you, and we often didn't understand each other, but you're our daughter, and we love you. Dad's friend was the sheriff, and we soon arrived on the island with his people. There is no one in the building. There's no one in the catacombs either. That means they escaped and took my friends with them. However, a few seconds later, we saw Eric, Rita, and Cheryl. We managed to escape while Mrs. Langley and the other cultists were running away. I'm so glad you're okay. Soon, we returned home. Rita had nowhere to go, and my parents took her in. Eric and Cheryl returned to their hometown, but promised to stay in touch. Would you like to hang out sometime? I think it's a great idea. My parents weren't perfect, but our relationship improved. Have they found any of those cultists yet? The police are doing everything they can. I'm worried about the girls they took with them. Congratulations! We now have 3 new priestesses. Soon, our followers will be in all corners of the world.